Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Before we kick off the video, I want to give a huge thanks to all of my subscribers, especially the new people that are just now finding my channel. Creating this series has really given me a lot to do while in quarantine, and I'm glad that so many of you guys are enjoying the stories as well. I want to shoot for 15 likes on this video because that would break my record of likes on one video, which would be pretty neato. Now, I feel a little bit silly because I only just now realized that each story of lore is actually part of a chapter book. This episode is chapter 2 of the Tales of Windsward, which if you remember my first episode of the series, Grenville's Journey, that's chapter 1. It doesn't seem that it follows a timeline, at least from what I can see. This set of notes takes place in between the assault on the dig site where Madeline and her group were wiped out, but before Grenville murders Rolf. I think the chapters are more relevant to the location that they're found in, rather than the actual full story that they tell, but we'll see how it works in future episodes. I hope you guys enjoy this story. So without further ado, this is Grenville and the Temple. Note 1. Circle of Dead. We've arrived at the temple ruins. It is late in the afternoon, only an hour or two's worth of daylight left. Maddie is the one who told me about this ruin. Although she is no longer with us, she has my thanks. It is important not to dwell on the past for too long, though Rolf may not have the same state of mind. He has not spoken a word since our escape. All I can do is push forward, leaving what happened at the dig site in the past. As for Rolf, I'm sure he will come around once he has had some time to gather his thoughts. There is an unusually large amount of dead that are surrounding this ruin, some lying on the ground, some standing with weapons in hand. It appears as though time has ceased to exist, or at least it has made an exception for these skeletons. It is clear to me that they were attacking something, or someone, before everything froze. Every single one of them is intact, no signs of any broken bones or decaying. Only that every ounce of flesh has disappeared, leaving behind only bones as white and as clean as a fresh snowfall. One thing I find most interesting is that the smallest of creatures, insects, spiders, and birds all seem to avoid them, as though there is some sort of mental barrier convincing them to stay clear. The armor and weapons have markings like that of the ancient structures on the island. I wonder if these are in fact the ancient colonists, maybe even servants or soldiers. I do not know what has kept some of them standing after all these years. Perhaps it is the same power that is able to resurrect us after death. Note 2. Keepers. It seems as though Rolf was telling the truth about the skeletons on the outskirts of the temple ruins. They have a small sphere inside their ribcage with similar markings to that of the great spheres. I do not believe they posed as warnings for intruders. I believe that they lived once. Trails have been worn into the stone in the temple's perimeter that I can only imagine are the result of walking in the same line hundreds if not thousands of times, and then one day, they all stopped. I have taken one of the small spheres to study and see if there is any evidence in my theory of a past life for these guardian skeletons. Tomorrow I will head into the deeper parts of the temple. Perhaps Rolf will join me. Perhaps not. He is displaying nothing but fear on his face. Note 3. Of statuary and symbolism. I found another type of skeleton today while I was entering the ruin, one with a spear in hand, donning steel armor unlike those with simpler armaments found around the perimeter outside. A leader or a ruler, perhaps? Maybe just another version of a guard, one of higher status. He is standing in front of a coffer. The statues that I have seen inside the temple ruins are quite strange indeed. It is clear to me that it is of the same culture that came before us, however the likeliness is peculiar. Each statue has 4 arms and a cleft that runs from head to torso, dead center of the stone, similar to what we have seen on the great spheres as well as the smaller ones. Perhaps some sort of a representation of a guardian deity, or something of the like. A division of oneself, perhaps portraying equal sides of good and evil qualities. In one hand they carry a weapon, while in the opposite we find a sphere. This leads me to believe that perhaps good and evil in my previous hypothesis is not the answer, but rather life and death, the power to drain one's life by the use of a weapon, and the ability to create or restore life by means of the sphere. This may be one of the answers that I've been searching for. Note 4. Ghosts. We were unable to remove the great stone that sealed the coffer. I was only able to examine the statues on the visit, but perhaps in the future I will be able to bring a bigger group to assist in the matter. Rolf tried to rush me, but alas I did not heed his warning, and night swiftly crept upon us. As we were leaving the ruin we noticed some shapes within a tree line, as well as a white light. At first glance I thought it was merely a group of travelers, but Rolf grabbed my shoulder and pulled me back to the entrance of the ruin. "Humans walk," he said. "They don't glide." Think about how far away we are, he said. If a man carried a lantern as high as he could, it would bounce. And what lanterns have you ever seen that glow white? The temple might be dangerous, but I can guarantee you whatever is out there watching us is worse. We had no choice but to wait out the night from the safety of the temple. Neither of us were able to sleep due to the shrieks in the distance that sent shivers down my spine. Just when we thought the night had become safe and still, another ghost-like figure would float from beyond the trees, as if to serve a reminder that it was watching us, and so long as the night was upon us, they would not be far. They would not dare let us roam free. May we make it through the night, so that we may leave as soon as the sun crests the horizon. We will head to the great obelisk to the west. I should have heeded Rolf's warning. At least the guardians within the perimeter of the temple have not arisen as the wraiths have. They remain still at their posts. If that were not the case, these would be my final words. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As for the people that have gone out of their way to share my channel with their friends or family, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. That is just one of the kindest things that anybody could do for me. So thank you. Thank you very much. As for the rest of you, you probably need to step up your game. No, I'm just kidding. No, I make these videos because they're fun for me, and you know what? If you guys get enjoyment out of them, then that's awesome too. So I will hopefully see you all in the next video, and if not, you watch it later.